Unit 2, continuing on lesson 2 for day 2, slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. Today we're going to focus on writing and analyzing equations, looking at parallel lines again, comparing slopes, perpendicular lines, comparing slopes, and writing and analyzing equations. Slope-intercept form. Most linear equations are written in slope-intercept form or standard form. We're going to start with slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And m is a slope, b is the y-intercept. Just a reminder, especially when it's from a graph, slope is rise over run. Let's look at the equation here. The graph of the line, y-intercept, that's the b, is down at -3. And the slope, let's see, we're going up 4, right 2. That is going to simplify to 2. So y equals 2x minus 3. Slope is 2, y-intercept is -3. Let's look at number 2. Y-intercept's right here at -2, so that's our B. Slope, we're going down to the right, so it's going to be negative. Down 4, right 5. So slope is -4/5. Here's our equation. Y equals -4/5 x minus 2. Number 3 is going down to the right as well, so it's a negative slope. Y-intercept's right there, which means b is going to be 0, and we don't write plus or minus 0. We just leave it off. Here's our slope. We're going down 1, right 2, so our slope is -1/3. So y equals -1/3 x. Graphing lines. So we are going like in reverse. Y equals mxb, remember, so our y-intercept's -1, and that is where we're always going to start. We're going to use our slope to go from there. So we're going up 5 and right 4 to get another point. And then we use a ruler, please, to draw a straight line through those 2 points. Let's look at the next one. Y-intercept's at +6, which is right there. Our slope is down 1, right 1. It's a negative slope. There's no number in front of x, but that's a -1. So down 1, right 1, several points here, and draw the line through. Number 6, what's the y-intercept? It's not there. It must be 0. So this is where we start. Slope is 2. So we're going up 2, right 1. Continue doing that. Draw your line through. Standard form is another way to write a linear equation. It's ax plus by equals c. Because standard form does not give you the slope, m, you must be able to convert them to slope-intercept form. There's a reminder, y equals mx plus b. So we're going to write the equation in slope-intercept form, and then we're going to find the slope and y-intercept. So to get it in slope-intercept form, we need to isolate our y. So who's ever with a y we need to get rid of. So we're going to subtract x on both sides. The 6 and the minus x are not like terms, but we need them in slope-intercept form. So we're just going to arrange them so the negative x is in front, and then we have our plus 6. Remember, the -1 is going to be our slope, and the 6 is our y-intercept. Here's our equation. Slope -1, y-intercept 6. Let's do number 8. Get the y alone. So subtract 5x on both sides. 2y equals, put them in order, according to slope-intercept form, -5x minus 2. We need to divide every term by 2. And we get y equals -5/2 x minus 1. So that's our equation. Slope is negative 5/2, and the y-intercept is negative 1. Number 9, subtract 2x on both sides. Don't forget to bring down that negative. It was a minus 4y, so it needs to be negative 4y equals negative 2x plus 28. We're trying to get y alone, so we're going to have to divide every single term by negative 4. We get y equals 1/2 x minus 7. So that's our equation. Slope is 1/2, and the y-intercept is negative 7. Write an equation in slope-intercept form, give the slope and y-intercept. So just to continue on, so we're going to subtract 3x on both sides. Bring down our negative y is equal to negative 3x plus 5. Get everything in order, and don't forget the negative on the y. Now, all we have to do is change everybody's signs because we need y positive. That's the same as dividing every term by negative 1. So change all the signs. Y equals 3x minus 5. There's our equation. Slope is 3. Y-intercepts negative 5. In 11, subtract 6x on both sides. Bring down your 8x, put the minus 6x in front, so that's a negative 6x, and then bring down your minus 16. Don't lose that sign. Divide everything by 8. And that's okay that the negative 6 isn't divisible by 8. We're going to have a fraction, and a lot of slopes are fractions, so that's okay. Y equals negative 3/4 x minus 2. There's our equation. Slope negative 3/4, y-intercept negative 2. Get the y alone, subtract the x on both sides. You have negative 4y equals negative x. Please don't put plus 0. We need to divide everything by negative 4. Y equals positive 1/4 x. So that's our equation. Slope is 1/4, and the y-intercept is at 0. That's going to be at the origin. Slope-intercept form. Now we have an equation. It is in standard form. Let's switch it to slope-intercept form, and then we have to graph it. So x minus 2y equals 8. Get the y alone. So subtract x on both sides. You get negative 2y equals negative 8. Negative x plus 8. Divide everything by negative 2. There is our equation in slope-intercept form. So it gives us our slope of 1/2. Remember, that's up 1, right 2 when we go to graph it. Y-intercept's negative 4. So that's where we're going to start out. Always start out with your y-intercept. And then use your slope. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Do it until you can't do it anymore. Draw your line in with a ruler, please. Next one, subtract the 3x on both sides. Bring down your 5y equals negative 3x plus 5. We're putting them in order. Divide every term by 5. Y equals negative 3/5 x plus 1. That gives us a slope of negative 3/5. So we're going to go down 3, right 5. Start at our y-intercept, which is 1. So down 3, right 5, and draw our line through. Point slope form. When given a point, x sub 1, y sub 1, through which the line passes and the slope of the line, m, you can write the equation in point slope form. So y minus y1. So y is a variable in the equation. y1 is going to be a number from our point. M is our slope. And then in parentheses, we have x, that's the variable in our equation, minus x sub 1, which is the number from the point. So in number 1, we're given the point 4, 1, and the slope is 2. So we're putting it in slope-intercept form. y equals mx plus b is the form it should end up in. So substitute it into the formula. So y minus 1, remember it's y minus the y value in your point, equals 2 times x minus the x value in your point. We're going to need to distribute that 2 to each term in the parentheses. We get y minus 1 equals 2x minus 8. Get y alone, add 1 to both sides. Y equals 2x minus 7. Here's another one. We have the point 2, 4. Slope is 1/2 this time. Let's plug it in to our point slope form of an equation. Using the values from our point and our slope, we're going to have to distribute again. That's okay that it's a fraction. Remember, slope's going to be a fraction most of the time, and they told us the slope is a fraction. So we're going to bring down our y minus 4, and 1/2 times x is half x, and half of negative 2 is negative 1. Only thing we need to do to get y alone is add 4 to both sides, and y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Practice set. A little bit different. I'm not handing you the slope. You need to find the slope. We're going to put it in slope-intercept form again. Remember, there's the equation for the slope. So we're going to subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on bottom. So negative 1 minus 7, 1 minus negative 3. Put it in Desmos. There's our slope. Our slope is negative 2. We're going to need to pick a point because we used a point and a slope last time. Pick whichever point you want. I picked the point 1, negative 1. You can do it with the other one. We should get the same equation. So we're using a slope of negative 2 and the point 1, negative 1. So let's substitute in. Y minus the y value, negative 1, equals our slope, negative 2, times x minus the x value in the point that we picked, which is 1. Let's simplify and distribute, because that left-hand side can be simplified to y plus 1. Distribute the negative 2 to the x, we get negative 2x, and negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Get the y alone by subtracting 1 on both sides. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. Same thing. We need to find our slope. So subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on bottom. Let's put it into Desmos, and it gives us our slope. Our slope is 1/3. Pick a point. Pick the second one again. Doesn't matter which one you pick. Plug it in. Substitute in to our point slope formula. So y minus the y value in our point, which is negative 4, equals our slope, 1/3, times the quantity x minus the x value in the point that we picked out. Simplify and distribute. So on the left, we get y plus 4 minus the negatives, the same as plus the positive. 1/3 times x is 1/3 x, and 1/3 of negative 3 is negative 1. Just add, subtract 4 on both sides. Y equals 1/3 x minus 5. Vertical lines. A vertical line is written in the form x equals a, where a represents where it crosses on the x-axis. It's a number. So I highlighted the line so it's easier to see. The equation is going to be x equals negative 1. Every single point on that line has the same x value and is equal to negative 1. And a vertical line has a slope that's undefined. Horizontal line is written in the form y equals a, where a is where the line crosses the y-axis. It's at the y-intercept. So y equals 3. Every single y value, from each of the points on that line is 3. Slope of a horizontal line is 0. Graph the line y equals 4. So that's a horizontal line through 4. And our slope is 0. Bonus information. X equals -2. So that's going to be a vertical line through -2 on the x-axis. And the slope of that is undefined. Y equals 0. So that's a horizontal line. The slope is 0. Remember, y equals 0 is the intercept on the y-axis, and it's going to be a horizontal line. So that's our graph. Parallel, perpendicular, or neither. We're given two equations. In 18, it's nice because they're in slope-intercept form. Remember, m is our slope. Their slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So the slope on that first line, y equals 5x plus 2, is 5. In the next one, y equals 5x minus 1 is also 5. If they have the same slope, the lines are parallel. Number 19. Ooh, they're in slope-intercept form too. -3/2 is the slope of that first line, and +2/3 is the slope of the second. They're the opposite signs and they're flipped, so those two lines are perpendicular. Determine whether the lines are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. This time we have some in standard form. That's just a reminder what standard form looks like. And there's a shortcut to get to the slope. It's the opposite of A over B. And in 20, there's no number in front of X. Remember, that's a 1. So opposite of A would be -1, and B is 2. So -1/2 is the slope of that first line. The second one, opposite of 6 over -3, is going to be 2. They are opposite reciprocals, so those two lines are perpendicular. Let's look at the next one. Let's throw in a couple ones again. And the opposite of A over B is going to be -1 over -1, which is 1. And that's in slope-intercept form. And there's a 1 out in front of there too, which is a slope. So our slopes are the same, which means these two lines are parallel. Number 9, we're using parallel lines. Write the equation of a line that is parallel to y equals 2x plus 4, passes through that given point. So the slope of that equation, since it's in slope-intercept form, is 2. And a parallel slope is going to be the same. So we're going to use a slope of 2 and the point -4, -1. Let's put it in point slope form. Plug it in. We're going to simplify and distribute. I guess we're just going to simplify first. Okay, distribute the 2 to the x and to the 4. So y plus 1 equals 2x plus 8. Subtract 1 on both sides. And here's our equation. Y equals 2x plus 7. Perpendicular lines. Write an equation of a line that's perpendicular to that line, and it's in slope-intercept form as well. So we know our slope is 3/4. But perpendicular slope is the opposite reciprocal. So we have to flip it and change the sign. So that's the one we're going to use when we write our equation of the line that passes through the point 3, -3. Let's put it in point slope form. So substitute in y minus -3, which is the y value in our point, equals -4/3, that's our perpendicular slope, times the quantity x minus 3, because we're subtracting the x value in our point. So let's distribute and simplify. Y plus 3 equals negative 4/3 x, and negative 4/3 times negative 3 is 4. To get the y alone, subtract 3 on both sides. Our equation, y equals negative 4/3 x plus 1. Mastery Connect example. What is the slope of the line that is perpendicular to the graph of that line? Now that is in slope-intercept form. So a reminder down there, y equals mx plus b, and m is a slope. So that right there is a slope. Slope is 7, but perpendicular slope, we have to flip it and change the sign. So C is going to be our answer. That would be the slope of the line that's perpendicular to the graph of y equals 7x plus 1. Let's see what's next. Another Mastery Connect example. What is the slope of the line that's parallel to the line represented by that equation? So parallel lines have the same slope, and our slope right there is 3/4. So we're looking for 3/4 right there. It's C. Another Mastery Connect example. Which equation represents the line that's parallel to line RS? So we have line RS there. All of our multiple choice options are in slope-intercept form, so that makes it a little bit easier. We need to find the slope of RS, segment RS. So we can go up 4 and over 8 to get to S. So that is 4/8, or 1/2. And the only equation that has a slope of 1/2, because parallel slopes are the same, is B. Another Mastery Connect example. Which equation represents a line, they're in slope-intercept form again, that is perpendicular to the line shown in the graph? All the slopes are different, so let's find the slope. So slope of this, rise over run, we're going to go down 4, right 10. So that is going to be a slope of -4/10, which is -2/5. But we want the perpendicular slope. So we need the opposite reciprocal. Flip it and change the sign. So we're looking for the equation that has a slope of +5/2. That is another Mastery Connect example. The graph of a line is shown below. Which of the following linear equations is a line that passes through point -3, 3 and is parallel to the given line? Okay, let's find the slope. So same slope. It is down to the right and negative. So, A and B are positive slopes. That's not going to work. Here's a point on this line, and we can go down 4 and then right 6 to get to another nice point. That gives us a slope of -2/3. And parallel to that, we'll look at both of those have a slope of -2/3. We have to go through the point -3, 3. And let's use the same slope. So we're going to go down 2, right 3, and that crosses the y-axis at a +1. So that's our y-intercept, and that's going to give us D.